Yeah, another audio gear review. I told you. But this time, it's different because we are going to review a different kind of wireless lavalier microphone. And I gotta say that this is by far the best wireless lavalier mic that I have ever used in my entire life. Well, that's a pretty heavy statement. This is the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2, and we'll talk about this in a bit. But before that, you know the drill. Let's roll the intro. Para mo kong pro. Hey, what's up guys, ryanaudencial, and boy, thanks so much for coming back here on my channel. There are lots of wireless lavalier microphone systems in the market nowadays. They come in different sizes and prices. But there was one wireless lavalier microphone system that changed everything, and it was released last year, 2019, the Rode Wireless Go. Man, it was sold like pancakes that time and everybody was talking about it. One of my colleagues had that and said to me, "Bumili ka na tol kasi sobrang astig nito. Sa liit nito, pwede tong iangkas sa gimbal mo." But I was like, "Di na tol, ang mahal eh." Yes, that time it was so damn expensive. Why? $299 or 14,000 pesos for one transmitter and without a lavalier microphone included? Pass. Instead, I researched for a better alternative and saw Saramonic's Blink 500. Dual transmitters with the included lavalier mics for just $187 or 9,000 pesos. That's a great deal, right? But then again, one of my friends had that and said, "Mura to boss Ray, kaya lang mabilis maubos yung baterya, and pag gamit mo yung dalawang transmitters, hindi mo pwedeng paghiwalayin yung audio tracks kasi mono track recording lang siya." So I ended up not buying that. Months and a couple of wireless lavalier microphones later, Saramonic released this. This is the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2, and I'm loving it so far. The Saramonic Blink 500 Pro is an upgraded version of the Saramonic Blink 500. Upgraded. That's why it has the word Pro in it. Just kidding. It's an upgraded version because it solved a lot of issues with its predecessor, and Saramonic added a lot of new features as well. But before we talk about all of those features, let me show you first what's in the box. Inside the box, there is a box again. A better box, I should say. As you open that better box, there are some papers. A warranty card, 2 stickers, a quality certificate card, and the user manual. As we remove these papers, a good-looking hard plastic case. Let's set that aside for a bit and talk about this smaller box inside the better box. This smaller box contains 2 mini dead cats, 2 SRM1 lavalier microphones with clips and foam windscreen, a TRS to TRS cable for your cameras and audio recorders, a TRS to TRRS cable for your mobile phone, a USB Type-C cable, and a micro USB cable. Let's switch over to this good-looking hard plastic case. This is the charging case, and as we open this case, there goes our 2 transmitters and the receiver. Now those are the things inside the box. The end. Just kidding. Roll B-roll. The Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2 is a dual-channel 2.4 GHz wireless microphone system. On paper, its working distance is 100 meters line of sight. Its frequency response is from 50 Hz to 18 kHz. It has 18 available RF channels. They are automatically connected or paired out of the box. Build quality is plastic but durable. Let's talk about the transmitter first. The transmitter weighs about 32 grams. Transmitter's dimensions is 2.2 by 1.5 by 1.1 inches. It has a power button here on this side. This button is also the mute button, and 2 buttons on this side, the plus and the minus buttons. The plus button is also the set button. It has a micro USB port on this side as well for charging it without the charging case or while in use. Up top, we have a built-in omnidirectional microphone, so you can use this even without the SRM1 lavalier mic attached. Beside that microphone is a 3.5mm mic or line input. At the back of the transmitter, we have here connector pins to connect it with the charging case. We also have a belt clip here that also functions as a cold shoe mount. To turn it on, you just have to press the power button for 3 seconds. It has a high contrasted OLED screen that shows the audio waves, signal strength, the battery status, mute or input mode, and the mic gain. It has a built-in lithium-ion rechargeable battery that charges 3 hours and lasts up to 8 hours of runtime. But during my test, it lasted 6.5 hours of runtime with the OLED screen turned on. Meanwhile, the other transmitter lasted about 7.5 hours of runtime with the screen turned off after 10 seconds of last touch. Now, let's go through the menu system and the settings. By pressing the minus button, you'll get to see the mic gain adjustment. And by holding the set button or the plus button, you can then make the adjustments. Mic gain is from 0 to 6. To select the mic gain value you want, just press the set button again. Now, the next setting is the input mode. You can change the input modes to mic input or line input. So if you're using the lavalier mic included or an external boom mic, the mic input is for you. But if you are using a different audio source like a mixer or a mobile phone, you have to switch to line input. Next setting is the backlight mode. You can change it to always on or 60 seconds or 30 seconds or 10 seconds. To save battery, I suggest you choose the 10-second option. The next setting is the mute key. You can enable or disable the mute function. To mute the transmitter, you just have to press the mute or the power button once. You can select the language. There are 2 languages here, Chinese and English. Next, we can reset or restore this to factory settings. And lastly, we can see here the firmware version. If there are new updates available, you can then update the firmware by just hooking this up to your computer via the micro USB port. Now, let's talk about the receiver. The receiver weighs about 32 grams as well. It has the same dimensions with the transmitter. It has a power button / mute button here on this side. On the other side, it also has a plus / set button and the minus button. The receiver also has a micro USB port for charging without the case or while in use, and for updating the firmware. At the top, we have a 3.5 line out which will be connected to the camera. We also have here a headphone or a monitor out for you to monitor the sound. But we have to keep in mind that the audio that's coming out from this monitor out is not the audio that will be recorded to your footage because it didn't pass through your camera yet. At the back, we have the connector pins for the charging case and a belt clip that also serves as a cold shoe mount. Same drill. To turn it on, you just have to press and hold the power button for 3 seconds. This also has an OLED screen that shows the group icon, the signal strength of that group, the mute or input mode of the transmitters, the gain setting of the transmitters, the battery status of the transmitters, the pairing indicator, the receiver's headphone volume and mute status, the receiver's output mode, and the receiver's battery status. To adjust the settings, just press the minus button. We can adjust the headphone volume. We can also adjust the output mode. We can change it to mono or stereo, and we'll talk about that in a bit. We can adjust the OLED standby time as well. We can enable and disable the use of the mute button, which is also your power button. You can select the language. You can restore it to factory default settings. And lastly, we can see here the firmware version. And that's pretty much it. Now that we are done with the overview of the transmitters and the receiver, let's talk about the other features of the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro. Let's start out with the elephant in the room, shall we? The charging case. The charging case is a 2000 mAh fast charger. You can charge it through its USB-C port at the back. You can charge it using a 5-volt adapter through a wall outlet. You can also charge it using a power bank. It can charge the transmitters and the receiver simultaneously. It's portable, so you can charge your wireless lavalier microphone set while traveling. On this side, it has 2 buttons. One is to open the case, and as you can see, as we open it, we can see the battery status of the case. It also has a single button pairing here, so pairing them won't be a problem. Here's how the pairing button works. Just lay down your units on the case and press and hold the pairing button for 3 seconds. And there you go. Your transmitters and the receiver are now paired, synced, and ready to go. Now that we are done with the charging case, let's go talk about the other features of the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro and compare it to its predecessor, the Blink 500. The Pro version is smaller than the old version. The Blink 500 Pro has 60% longer battery life than the first generation Blink 500. The operating range is also double. The Pro version has a charging case. The Pro version has OLED screens. The old version doesn't have that, even a battery status indicator. None. so it's a guessing game. The Pro version's receiver has a separate 3.5mm headphone or monitor out. The old version's receiver only has a line out. The Pro version has a mute function. The Pro version has an increased signal-to-noise ratio. The Pro version has included dead cats for its onboard mic. And the best thing that happened in the Pro B2 version is this. The Pro version features stereo and mono outputs, meaning you can separate the audio tracks if ever you are using both the transmitters. The old version only records a mono output. You cannot separate the tracks of both the transmitters. So having that stereo recording in the Pro version is really one of the big selling points of this wireless microphone system. Now, enough of the features. Let's test the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2 and compare the audio quality against my other lavalier microphones. But before we go to the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2, I just want to mention that since the beginning of this video, I am using the Deity D3 Pro as my boom mic. And right now, I'm going to switch to the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. Right now, you are hearing the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. I'm using one of the transmitters with the included SRM1 lavalier microphone. I am inside the attic. This room has no acoustic treatment, just a carpet on the floor and a sofa behind me. The transmitter's audio gain is at 5. The audio is recorded straight to my Sony a7 III with a 10% input gain. Tell me how it sounds like. Now, let's do the noise floor phase. And now you are hearing the Lensgo LWM32HC. This also has two transmitters and I'm using one of the transmitters now. I also have a review video about this. Check it out right here. The audio is being recorded straight to my Sony a7 III with 10% input gain. Now for you to hear the noise floor, let's do the noise floor phase. And now you are hearing the Saramonic UW Mic 9 wireless lavalier microphone kit. This also has two transmitters and this is more of like a bigger brother to the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. This is also more expensive than the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. If you want to know more about this wireless lavalier microphone kit, check out my review about it. The audio is being recorded straight to my Sony a7 III with 10% input gain. Now for the noise floor, let's do the noise floor phase. And now we are back to the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2 and I'm still using the included lavalier mic, but this time I'm recording in stereo mode because I am also using the other transmitter as a handheld microphone. I am using its built-in omnidirectional microphone and also using one of the included dead cats. I'm going to switch to left and right channels so that you can hear the difference between both mics. Yes, you can use this as a handheld microphone for broadcast interviews, ambush interviews, as well as vlogging stuff. And what's cool about that is you can separate the channels and turn them into a mono channel. Right now you are hearing the lavalier microphone converted to a mono track. And now I am switching to the other transmitter. This one converted the channel to a mono track. Tell me how it sounds like. But for me, as far as I can tell, the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2 sound is rich in high frequencies. More so if you use the built-in microphone. It's broadcast quality, yes, but this is just an indoor test. So we have to go outdoors to test it out with a lot of noise present and test its range as well. See you guys outside. And right now we are outdoors testing out the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. And I am using two of the transmitters. One I am using with a lavalier microphone and the other one I'm using as a handheld microphone. So let me go to 15 meters just to test the range. I am now going to 15 meters. I am using the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. One of the transmitters I'm using with a lavalier mic and the other one is here. I'm using it as a handheld microphone. I am 15 meters away from the camera right now. This is 15 meters away from the camera. Again, I am using the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. I am now going to 100 meters away from the camera. 100 meters away is the maximum distance on paper. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? This is 100 meters away from the camera. Now let me go farther than 100 meters. Let me go to 120 meters. This is 120 meters away from the camera. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Not that good? Okay, let me go back to 100 meters. Let me go back to 100 meters. Now this is 100 meters away. This is 100 meters away. Well, we are safe. I'm going back now to the camera. Again, I am testing out the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. Now that has been my outdoor test of the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. Tell me how it sounds like. Just comment down there in the comment section. So now that we are done with the tests and comparisons, here are my final thoughts about the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. And let's start out with the things I like. Number one, I love the charging case. I won't have to worry about my kit dying on, and it also protects my kit from scratches. Number two, I love that it has a stereo output option. I can then easily separate the tracks and edit them individually. It gives you that flexibility, most especially if you're using both the transmitters. Number three, I like that out of the box they are already paired. Well, it comes standard nowadays. Number four, sound quality is key, and I like it so much. It sounds professional and rich. Really a broadcast quality audio. Number five, you know me. I am a run and gun shooter. I love portable stuff. This is really portable. You can also use this on your gimbal without worrying too much about the weight and the size. Number six, I like the OLED screen so much. It gives me that peace of mind by showing all the important things that I need to know. And lastly, the price. You can get this for $318 or 15,300 pesos. That's cheap. Considering the fact that you get two transmitters, it has included lavalier microphones. The transmitters has built-in microphones, and you also get a fast charging case. Stop that, Rode. So those are the things I like. Now let me tell you the things that I don't like about the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2. Number one, I don't like the fact that you need to use different USB cables to charge the case, the transmitters, and the receiver. In order for you to charge the case, you need a USB Type-C cable. Now for the transmitters and the receiver, you need a micro USB cable. Why? I know Saramonic have included both of these cables in the package, but I don't see the reason why it needs to be two different cables. Yeah, I also know that bringing one more cable with you won't hurt that much, but it brings me to the next thing that I don't like about this kit. You cannot put these cables and the lavalier mics inside the charging case. All of them won't fit inside. You need to bring an additional pouch or bag for these cables. I know I have this box right here to fit them all, but it defeats the purpose of this being a portable wireless lavalier kit because this is big. Too much footprint. But yeah, it's not a major issue or a deal breaker, but it's good to mention, right? Now, do I recommend the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2? Yes. 100%. This is ideal for vlogging, video productions, mobile filmmaking, live streaming, video conferencing, and more. If you're looking for a portable, feature-packed, professional-sounding 2.4 GHz wireless lavalier microphone system, in short, better than the Rode Wireless Go, the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2 is for you. Now that has been my review of the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2 wireless lavalier microphone system. If you want to know more about this, check out their website. The link is in the description. If you want to purchase this, purchase links are in the description as well. Now, if you are here in the Philippines at isa kang Pinoy, orderin nyo lang yan sa Lazada. May Lazada link dyan sa description. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell as well. Again, this has been ryanaudencial. Thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next video.